Yeah, the dirt's too wide out, and you can't use it very well. So I'm going to have to go something that's going to go forward on the slick.
Okay. Oh, Mark, well, it's great to see you doing it out there for yourself and for the Brits. Well done, and we'll see you later.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Heat number 15, Tony Rickardsson goes from the inside. His last chance to stay in this, has to finish in the first two, as does Jason Lance from gate 2, the Aussie in blue. Billy Hamill, the former world champion from the USA in white, and Jimmy Nielsen. Great riders, all of these, but last two in this race will be eliminated. The top two will march on. It could be a really tough encounter as our starting marshal walks away. The tanks fly up and away they go, and on the inside, Tony Rickardsson holds it tight, and down goes Henrik Gustafsson. He gets back on, but I'm just wondering what's happened there, because we've got all sorts of problems. It's Billy Hamill, I think, went down there, but away they go. The referee has let them go away, and certainly Tony Rickardsson in front now. Ahead of him, blue, is Jason Lyons, and back in third place is Billy Hamill is out of it, but Jimmy Nielsen is going well in yellow and black. But look at this, a brilliant effort by the man out front, Tony Rickardsson, and the world champion will stay in it. Perhaps he made a mistake early on, but he now knows that certainly that's not what he was doing, and he is going to win through in this, and perhaps we'll get through to the main event. But Billy Hamill at the back, the former world champion, is going to tumble out of this one. And Tony Rickardsson onto the last lap, out front, going well, sailing down the back straight, ahead of Jason Lyons. The Aussie will qualify for the next stage, but disappointment indeed for Jimmy Nielsen, disappointment for Billy Hamill, but the nodding head of Tony Rickardsson shows exactly what might have been for him first time out. And real disappointment for Billy Hamill and the Coventry fans at the back following that tumble. But Tony Rickardsson was wheel perfect that time, Peter, and showed the quality of a world champion.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of class there to do that. He was under such a lot of pressure. He really was under pressure.
Well, certainly these lads away from the start, but Rickardsson showed what could have been. And the lads in the studio, I'm sure, will appreciate the efforts of yet another world champion among world champions.
Well, Billy Hamill there, a major disappointment, Kelvin. I can't believe that.
No, unbelievable. You see here, he's lifting all the way to the first corner. He's got opposite lock on, and when the front wheel hits the ground, just literally the bike just jerks away from underneath him. Big, major shock, because he's been in such good form.
Sam Ermolenko, what I heard Tony Millard say it and reiterate it. Mental strength from the world champion, Rickardsson.
Especially coming off gate one, there's only been one successful rider that's done that so far, and that's the freak Todd Wiltshire from Australia, made it from one. But I'll go back to what Billy just done there. Billy just passed the corner up and made an aggressive move and put it down.
Jason Lyons, a brilliant ride into second place there, Gary.
Yeah, fantastic ride from Jason. You know, he'll be well happy with that. He's been going really good in the league as well, and step up into this sort of competition and ride as well as he has. It's a great effort to him. But I'd just like to say about Tony Rickardsson now was an awesome start. You know, his back was against the wall, and as we said before, that's when you find out who's the true champion. You know, he's got off gate one and he's done it.
Well, we've got Nielsen and Hamill going out then, but Rickardsson and Lyons go through. Heat 16 is next up. Gustafsson, Peter Carlson, Dano and Chris Louis. Two more of these men have got to go out, so this is going to be a tough one.
Better in this one because he really looked off the pace in his first ride, Keith. He just didn't look really with it at all. And we've seen this with him before when he starts in the main event.
He came off a gate one there, though. He's coming off a 4 here.
Yeah. Yeah, but even when he was racing, Keith, he didn't look like he was challenging. He just didn't do like anything. So maybe he's changed his bike in this race, but he's got to do something now.
We heard Mark Laram talking about changing his bike. He didn't want a fast bike. That's the opposite to us road racing types.
No, the track's slick. You don't want too much horsepower. You want it going on the ground. You would just want things hooking up.
You think possibly that Chris knew, okay, I'm not in this race, I'm fourth here, knowing where he's going to lie. Maybe he thinks the outside gate might help him now. If he hasn't changed bikes, maybe he thinks he might make it now.
Well, changing his bike, he got caught with that in the GP in Poland by not changing. So this time he's obviously won his first ride and knows he's got 2 more rides, whatever.
Yeah.
He's going to try his other bike.
Yeah. Everybody's getting smart for the system, aren't they?
OK, Mark Laram is right on target. Chris Louis isn't. We'll go across to our commentary pair now because we want to find out whether Chris is going to be able to do it in this one.
Well, we see Chris Louis there from the outside. The inside, it's Henrik Gustafsson in red, the Swede. Peter Carlson, fellow Swede, goes in blue from gate 2. The third Swede in the heat is Stefan Dano in white. And on the outside, it's Chris Louis. Remember, the last 2 will be eliminated. And certainly they'll get respectively 5 and 6 Grand Prix points, and really that's not much good to any of these. But Chris Louis want to make the first 2 and march on if Chris Louis is going to stay in contention. This is heat number 16. They look down at the tapes, which now fly up, and Chris Louis from the outside has work to do. He avoids second place, and the referee has stopped that heat there. And I've just got to find out, Peter Collins, I'm not quite sure what happened, and I couldn't see any really good reason for the referee to stop that one.
I think that the referees probably stopped it because there was some bunching on that first turn. I know nobody went down, but it didn't look particularly good. Or the only other reason is that the starting gate malfunctioned. Tape should have possibly went up unevenly, but no, the tape looked pretty good to me. But there, that bumping there in the middle of the turn, nobody went down, but really it was first bend bunching. Chris Louis was certainly impeded there by the rider in red, Henke Gustafsson, caused Chris to go right to the fence. We can see this again. The referee's looking at the video evidence before he makes his decision. He stops this one and he says that all four are going to go back in. This is first turn bunching, and it's a good decision really, Tony, by the referee, because it was a total shambles that first turn.
Well, normally, of course, we haven't seen that sort of thing happen, or the race stopped, unless we've actually seen somebody go down, and that's unique in the Grand Prix, really.
Yeah, Chris Louis was really balked really badly by that one. He really was pushed out from almost being in front to the fence.
Well, our world champions along with Keith Hewitt in the studio, how did you see that one?
There was a lot of shouting going on in here, as you might have guessed, but that doesn't mean anything as far as this studio is concerned. Kelvin Tatum.
That's right. Well, Henke there really was fired up. Unusual for him. We all agree with that. He really meant business. Again, the domino effect where he's come across from gate one, bumped into the Peter Carlson on two, and well, it was a shambles of the first corner. They were sort of all dribs and drabs in the end.
Well, turn one has been a bit hectic, hasn't it, throughout this meeting?
But saying that, Keith, to be fair, if they're going to put world championships on tight corner tracks like this is going to be the effect every time. And these guys right now, they're in the main event. These guys want to win. You know, if you take that little bit of a chance, sometimes look at Henke here. He's thinking, I just got to move these guys out, and I got a chance of getting into the finals.
Very quickly, Gary, were you surprised at a red light?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I think Tony's doing a really good job, and I think he should be commended for that.
Is he paying you? That's the second time you said that tonight, but anyway.
He doesn't exclude me.
It won't happen again. Let's go back to comms then. Tony.
Yeah, referee Tony Steele certainly on his mettle here tonight, dare I say. But the lineup here for heat number 16 in red on the inside, it's Henrik Gustafsson, Peter Carlson, Stefan Dano, all three Swedes. Wonder if that was some form of team effort to keep Chris Louis at bay. Louis going from the outside. This time up go the tapes. This time they fly. Louis left to... Oh, look at this. 1, 2, 3. All into that fence. There'll be a delay now. Let's hope they all get up, because catastrophe. Chris Louis is still down. Peter Carlson is on his feet. The first aid men are on the track like lightning. They're all trying to help, and carnage on that first bend. Repairs jumping up, and clear of it now is Peter Carlson. He's okay, but we're still waiting to see Chris Louis, who is down and tucked underneath that with his machine. And really, that pneumatic fence, Peter Collins, has to do its best possible job. Problems there for Peter Carlson. He seems to be okay. We are still waiting for Chris Louis, and they're all onto the track there. There's a lot of work to be done now to get that fence back into some sort of condition. And, well, Peter, I haven't seen anything like that. We saw the Grand Prix in Sweden when Jason Crump hit the barrier, but the safety fence important there.
Yes, Tony, we keep talking about this domino effect, and certainly when it's tight going into the first turn, that's again what happened there. Chris Louis and Stefan Dano are there, stuck under the fence there. Hopefully just the fence is just holding them under the fence, and hopefully they're going to get up there, but it did look pretty bad. They went in there pretty hard, there's no doubt about that. And it looks as though we've got some movement here. They got tangled up together going into that first turn. Let's hope that the air fence has done its job again, Tony.
Well, with his back to his England team manager Dave Jessup, just hidden there is John Louis, Chris Louis' father, in the red and blue jacket with the first aid men. There is Dave Jessup and John Louis. Certainly Jason Crump coming to see what's been happening here. We saw Martin Dugard there trying to help them. He came out and jumped over the fence to see what was happening. But Jason Crump, now a professional that he is, he's going to have a look at the starting gate and try and assess what he should do next time out when he goes from gate 3 in heat 17, Peter.
Yeah, well, Jason's certainly got a bit of time here while they sort this mess out, and he's going to have a look at his starting place. But a bit concerned about Chris Louis. I know he had Stefan Dano basically on top of him there, and they seem to be just caught under those bikes, under that air fence, and there's a lot of activity going on at the moment. And let's just hope they're going to walk away from this one, Tony.
Well, the paramedics are there, and we can see it again, Peter.
Yeah, well, this is the start. Just look at the rider in white there. He gets hit right from the centre there. Cannons into Chris Louis. Stefan Dano, that was that went in first. And